Honda Rebel 1100 DCT Best Beginner Motorcycle Parallel Twin. Just when it looked like Honda was easing itself out of the cruiser business, the 2017 Honda Rebel 500 and 300 appear. With motors based on existing sport bike models, the inexpensive Rebels became an instant hit. Now, the 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 is here, and it's the perfect upgrade path for a Rebel rider looking to be, well, more rebellious. In November, our first look of the Honda Rebel 1100 went over the technical aspects, so this time we're going to focus on riding this intriguing new cruiser. 1. If you can ride a Honda Rebel 500 or 300, you can ride the Rebel 1100. That's the most important thing to take away from this test. With a 27.5-inch seat height, compact seat/grips/pegs triangle, and lightweight, the 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 is always under your full control without an undue amount of effort. 2. The DCT variant, which we tested, is even more welcoming than the manual clutch 500 and 300. Start up the parallel twin, and it's twist and go once you hit the drive button on the right handlebar control pod. The dual clutch transmission will do all the shifting duties for you, in addition to automatically controlling the clutch. You can shift the 6-speed 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 DCT manually, if you like, via paddle shifters on the left handlebar. 3. There are 3 preset power modes on the Rebel 1100 DCT, though the sport mode will get almost all the use. There's a rain mode, and it makes sense if the road is wet, you want less power and lots of traction control. Next up is the standard mode. It gives the rider more performance, while still considerably reining in the power. Unless you're a rank beginner, you will want to use the sport mode. It has maximum power, minimal traction control, moderate engine braking, and aggressive DCT shifting. The sport mode is still entirely smooth and controllable, and the standard mode feels lethargic in comparison. 4. The secret sauce is the customizable user mode. Honda lets you pick individually between 3 levels of power, traction control, and engine braking, and shifting aggressiveness. It's always a more enjoyable ride if you can set the motor up to your preferences, and Honda makes that easy with the Rebel 1100. It's not a big deal, but I like plenty of engine compression braking. So, my user setting is maximum power and engine braking, most aggressive shifting, and minimal traction control. If you want to jack up the traction control, I won't think less of you, but on dry roads that aren't covered with dirt, you won't be inadvertently spinning up the rear tire in any setting. In case you're wondering, ABS is non-adjustable and always on. 5. Moving up to the 1100 does not compromise the Rebel's urban feel. The 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 DCT is as friendly as it gets in traffic and on city streets. You're low to the ground and you always have the feel of being in full control, even as the DCT takes care of the clutching and shifting. Turning is absolutely intuitive, and nothing unexpected ever happens. It's a fun, relaxing, and efficient ride. 6. The 2021 Honda Rebel 1100 DCT is very much like riding the 500 or 300, but with a lot more power on tap. You can get up to serious speeds between stoplights if you're willing to twist the throttle to the stops and let the DCT rip through the gears. Plus, if you're on the freeway and no one is looking, a 1-digit can be made to appear to the left of the 2-numeral digital speed readout. Remember, that's the motor from the Africa Twin adventure bike, retuned for more low RPM power. That is what you want for battling city traffic. The firing sequence gives the Rebel 1100 motor a great V-twin-like feel, and not a bad sound considering our EPA masters must be satisfied. 7. With high speeds must come effective braking. Honda wanted to keep the Rebel's spare look, so the engineers went with a single front disc. However, that's a huge 13-inch disc and a radially mounted 4-piston monobloc caliper. The back wheel gets a large 256mm caliper, and both ends have fat tires with substantial footprints on the pavement. 8. Riding around town, I keep my hands on the grips and use the rear brake almost exclusively, it's that powerful. Sure, you want the front brake to be there when you need to stop unexpectedly. However, you can easily ride all day in the city without actuating a hand lever. Of course, out on the twisties, such as Mulholland Drive through the Hollywood Hills, it's time for the front brake to earn its keep, and it does so without misbehavior. Pad-to-disc engagement at both ends is smooth and predictable, ramping up linearly as you add pressure.